right, and people notice you, right, they're not gonna regard you, man, right? They're gonna treat you like how the media will portray you, man. Insurgent, a terrorist, so on and so forth.
There was a recent video clip of in Miami, right? Like I think the armed police, like the SWAT type of kind of police, the ones with the gear and everything. I think they were chasing after somebody, and then this one woman kind of blocked an officer, and then he bumped into her. She went and fell, and he went and fell, and then he turned around right to her, and then she started talking shit. You know, like the liberty that women have today, man, where they can talk shit to anybody. Yeah. He just turned around, grabbed her on the ground, man. He started kicking her ass, man. Pinned her to the ground, punched her in the face, turned her around, and then the other people she didn't even do nothing. And then the other officers came. They came to help him, man. They grabbed her, pinned her down, put handcuffs on her, man, grabbed her away, man. And that's the spirit that those troops are gonna come in. Yeah. They won't care, man. Old, young, men, women. Vulnerable or whatever, man, they won't care, man, because he literally grabbed her like she was a man. Grabbed her back to the ground, flinged her to the ground, man. He started hitting her while she's on the ground. He flipped her around and put handcuffs on her, man. That's the spirit that all these troops are gonna come in. They're not gonna, you're a little young girl and open the door for you, man. It's straight up, get the fuck out of my way.
Yeah.
You know?
If I could just add to that, because in Brazil, because of the crime is so high, and they don't want to take it to the justice system. Because the justice system was all corrupt. The police, they just take them, and they've showed documentaries. Take them around the back of the jeep. Yeah. Boom, all you hear is
summary execution.
Bang. Women too.
Yeah, summary execution, man.
Yeah.
They know when the police grab you up, they find you, then they take you in the favelas. They take you up somewhere. They know you ain't coming back, man. Your family just have to go later on and collect your body.
Because them prisons because I've seen those documentaries. Those prisons in Brazil are so overcrowded. Like you said, they'll execute you on the spot just to save time and just to save space and money, man. Because it costs money to run a prison and feed the prisoners and look after them, man. So that's coming to a city near you, man. Right, so on the spot executions, man. All right, watch the film RoboCop, man. Okay, judge, jury, and executioner. That's what these martial law troops are going to be in that day. Okay. Just like in the movie 28 Weeks Later, all right, they have the sniper, man, right, and the order he received was shoot everyone infected, whether they're infected or not, because anyone was a threat, okay, and that's what's gonna come in that day, all right.
I got more, verse 72. For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. So basically, individuals are going to be getting grabbed out of their houses. You know, 4 o'clock in the morning, when you're all spooned up with your wifey. You know, you know, that's when they're going to come. They shall cast them away. They shall waste and take away their goods, okay, and cast them out of their houses. So a load of brothers are going to be grabbed up, okay. Martial law. Continue. Yeah. Then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as gold in the fire. Then that day is going to be known who the Lord is really truly dealing with. Okay? And they shall be tried as gold in the fire. When you try gold, what does gold have to go through? A purifying process. Because gold, the way you see gold, you don't just get the gold ring like that. Yeah. It comes out, it's dirty. You wouldn't even recognize it.
Yeah, it's kind of like dirt. When it comes from the ground, there are all kinds of impurities around it, and you have to put it. It's like you get about that much, and put it through the fire, and then you get about that much back. The pure gold.
Yeah, so it's a furnace. It has to go through the furnace, and that's what Yahushua is doing. He's putting us through that furnace of affliction, okay, to make us better, to come out better men, more acceptable. Because there's even a thing with gold, where they test gold to see if it's real gold. Or is it just that, what's that counterfeit gold? There's such a thing called fool's gold. Yeah. Fool's gold, okay? And you got the real gold. And Yahushua is making us that 24 carat gold. Even 14 carats quite good.
Yeah, man, because the scriptures talk about a time known as the hour of temptation, man. Right, during that time, during martial law, during Jacob's trouble, right, the men of the Lord, we're gonna be facing serious temptations, right? Because when a martial law trooper is bursting down your door and has a gun, has the barrel of the gun to your face, right? Are you gonna choose the chip and Esau, or are you gonna stay loyal with the Lord, man? Right, to the Lord, should I say?
I've got another 3 seconds. We're nearly done. Hey, O ye my beloved, saith the Lord, behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same.
As the elect. Precept. Okay. It's a Revelation 12 and 12, and it says, therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knows that he hath but a short time, man. Okay.
Read it again. So I lost my train of thought.
Okay. It says, therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them.
Rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. So we're supposed to be rejoicing. Why? Because the devil knoweth, coming down with great wrath. Who's the devil? The deceiver. Cometh down with great wrath. What's wrath? Anger. Knoweth that he hath but a short time. So the devil's coming down with great wrath, knowing that he have a short time. For what? To fulfill his new world order. Okay, so what's he going to try and do? If the devil's coming down with great wrath, he's going to be pulling out all different tactics to try and throw us off, to try and get rid of us. That's why some of us, Lord willing, whatever the Lord's will be, but some of us may be taken out, standing here. Yeah. You know why? Because the devil's coming down with great wrath. Okay? He knows he's only got a short time.
So that means they're going to start moving things a lot quicker now, man. Okay? They're going to start moving things, because you see, if they had all the time, because right now, first of all, man, like what they're doing is, they, like the analogy we used the other day about the frog in the pot of water boiling, and it boils slow, and they gotta get the people gradually get these people
Climatize them.
Gradualism, and trying to get these people into using the electronic transactions, and then the chip afterwards. But it's taking long, man. Eventually Esau has to move quicker. He has to move things a lot quicker now, man, because they don't have time, man. Okay, they have to now they have to start using drastic measures. That's why if you notice now with the whole coronavirus now, it's they are blowing it out of proportion, man. They are really putting it out there now, man. You could be maybe just 5 people in the whole UK that have got it, but that's telling you 1,000 people. Okay, and then before you know it now, man, everybody's at home, and then everybody's off the street, no cash. If they say no more cash, right now they've just cancelled all the football games of this weekend. If they say okay, cash is the next one to go, nobody use cash. If you got any cash, you go 1 week to put it in your bank, and then use your electronic transactions. Okay, just like that, man. And then before you know it, now is all the cash has been taken off just like that by using this thing. So Esau is not gonna use a situation like this and waste it, man. What do you call that?
Problem, reaction, solution.
Yeah. So this one right now, man, with the way things are going right now, man, it's a big opportunity for them to put certain laws in place, for them to take off certain things that these people are used to, man. Okay, they've already said, man, they wanna get rid of cash, like the brother wants to go into the mark of the beast. Okay. Just look around you, man. You ain't seen nobody dropping dead. But if I go on the news right now, man, you'd be scared to go out, man, with the way they're saying. You see?
This is It's 2 Corinthians and 11. 2 Corinthians 2 and 11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us.
Yeah.
For we are not ignorant of his devices.
That's right, man. We're not ignorant of Satan's devices, man. All right. His tricks, his wiles. All right. This coronavirus. All the pestilences he's got building up in the labs.
I just got a notification on the news. It's a massive queues form at Glasgow Costco amid coronavirus outbreak.
There you go, man.
Whoa.
On my phone, it's like every time on my phone, it's just dinging off corona. I don't even look at it because I know what it is. It's that scare. But guess what? The elect are going to be looked after. Fear not, little flock.
Wow.
Okay.
I can open it. This is crazy, boy. That's why we went into Luke 12, man. Think of the words of the Lord, man. Think the scripture speak about the Lord is not a man that he should lie. Okay, let everybody else, man, worry about these queues, whatever. Don't even go there, man. Get your food the next day. You know? It's a massive queue. I've never seen anything like this, man. And Costco is big, man. You don't need to queue up in Costco. But wow.
Yeah. And they're telling everybody about get in jail. Gel to wash your hands and all this.
Yeah.
It's the same effect when you use any of these other soaps. Matter of fact, a lot of these other soaps could be better than the so-called gels. Go on, bro.
What do you want? This is 2 Ezra 15 and 15.
Yeah.
For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another.
What's that talking about? Right? It's talking about riots, right? These protests that are going to turn into riots, okay? These race wars, class wars, so on and so forth, right? During the time of martial law, man, right? It's going to be all-out chaos in the streets. Everyone's just going to turn on each other, man, right?
And one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands.
So people are going to literally be killing. There's going to be it's going to be every man for themselves out there, man. Dog eat dog, right? During that time, okay. But it's going to go on to say why.
And the Baba just sent me a thing. He said UK death toll for coronavirus just doubled in one night.
Yeah.
It's now 21 in one night.
See, that's why the scripture said we're not ignorant of Satan's devices. That could be complete bullshit.
Yeah.
But we question it at least. You know, it could be correct. Could be lies.
God, but either way, he's still gonna use that. He's gonna take advantage of it anyway, man. You know?
For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes.
And that sedition among men is talking about those great uprisings, man, uproars of the people. Okay.
And they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and their course of their actions shall stand in their power.
So in that day, all the men of power and the men of renown in this kingdom, your politicians, right? All the trust that these people have in their politicians is going to go out the window, right? Politicians are going to be stooped down to the level of a common man in that day, all right? You might just see a big party politician down your street, and he's being chased down by a homeless person, man. Right?
The one in Brazil. Remember the one in Brazil?
He got shot, I think.
No, they dragged him. They tied him up to their car, and then they started dragging him around in the truck. Was it Venezuela? One of South American countries, man. You know.
Yeah, it says that the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So whatever they choose to do, or whatever they want to do, is what they're gonna do. Yeah, exactly. You know. So they said they shall not regard their kings nor princes, man. You know, no one's gonna care about your social status in that day, or your political status in that day. Right? So like it says, it's gonna be every man for themselves, man. Swords in their hands. Right? People, the real beast is gonna come out in people, because it goes on to say about the family, man.
Verse 17, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able.
So what's that talking about? Right, that's talking about martial law. Right, because during the time of martial law, right, cities get shut off. Right, people aren't allowed to enter or leave. Just like right now, okay, you've got whole countries on lockdown, man. Right, such as Italy, no one's allowed to leave or enter. Right, what is that? Okay, that's martial law, man. Right, and that's going to come to England. It's going to come to every single country in this world, right? And especially America, man. Right? The cities are going to be locked down, man. Right? And then the military is going to take over the police. Right?
Yeah.
The military is going to basically take over the police, man. Right? They're going to stand. They're going to be the standing police, man. Right?
Also, the militarization of the police. We start giving them those equipment that the army use, the gear that the army use. Because eventually, when things are bad, when police officers don't walk around in the street with their normal police uniform, man, they have to have protective gear, man. There'll be a big armored vehicle, and if there's any police officers, just like in the movies, man, you see that all the time with police with fucking guns. You know, like the way they are in the airport, man. They always fucking have the big ass fucking guns on them. You know.
For example, right, where I was born in Kosovo in Albania, right, after there was a war there during the 90s, and after the war had settled, right, NATO and the US military had basically taken over the police force in that country, right, and it got to, they used to call it the policing hour, right, whereby if you were seen out on the streets past 9 p.m, right, you were detained, and if you didn't comply, then you could have got shot on the spot.
A curfew.
Yeah,
And that's what they're going to implement here. This is coming right here. Curfew, martial law. There's more. You want me to? Verse 18. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. And men shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword.
So like I said, man, no one in that day, right, it's every man for themselves. No one's going to regard who you are or what you've done for them, you know, or how much of a best friend you are, so on and so forth. You know, whether they're your cousin, you know, every man for themselves, man. All right?
Because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation.
Come, because of the lack of bread. What's that talking about? It's talking about a famine, right? Great famines is coming to this land, right? Coming to a city near you, man, right? We've seen what's happening just with hand sanitizers and toilet roll, right? But imagine when the food is scarce, man, or when there's a void of food, right? These people can't even go 4 hours without eating food, man. You know, these people go crazy. These people actually go insane, right? And that's a different type of hunger, man, right? When you know, like when you fast, I remember you made that point that time. And when you fast, you know you're gonna eat. But when there's a famine, you don't know when you're gonna eat.
Yeah, no, man, that's different. That hits you different, man. that type of hunger hits you different, man. You know, because that fasting is a choice.
Yeah.
You can go in your fridge and decide to eat, man, halfway through your fast, man.
Yeah.
But that one you keep opening your fridge, man. You know, there's nothing to eat. You're going outside, everybody's starving. You know, that's different, man. That's when desperation comes in now, man.
It's involuntary, man. It's involuntary. That's why they show you in that movie. What's the one Denzel watched? In the Book of Eli, man. Right? You had people that resorted to cannibalism, right?
Cannibalism, that's coming back.
Right.
You know.
And another thing as well is water, right? That's going to be scarce too. People are going to be running, trying to drink water out of these little puddles, running to the River Thames trying to drink water out of it, because there ain't going to be no water running out of your taps either.
Or it could be contaminated.
Right.
You know.
Right.
You go, Mom?
And that causes disease, doesn't it, when you drink contaminated water?
Yeah. It's at Jeremiah 30:6, and it says, "Ask ye now and see whether a man doth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, as a woman in travail, and all faces turned into paleness? Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it." Okay, verse 6, "Ask ye now and see whether a man doth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins?"
So every man in that day, okay, it's going to be like a woman in travail, man. I was lucky, was the same man in travail.
Yeah.
Right?
It says that, yeah.
Every man with his hands on their loins, all right? Grown ass men are going to be scared in that day, all right? Even the mighty men, all right?
There'll be starvation, you're just there, just grabbing your stomach. You ain't ate for days, you know?
And that's what it means by having your hands on your loins, man. You're weak, all right?
And it says, "Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, as a woman in travail, and all faces turn into paleness? Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it."
So this time of Jacob's trouble is a time that's never happened before on this planet Earth, man. All right? It's gonna be, you know, you can only envision it so far, man. All right? Because it's gonna be worse than what you actually think it's gonna be.
Yeah.
Right? You're gonna like I've mentioned, the race wars, the class wars, right? Martial law,
Yeah.
pestilences, famine. That's all happening at the same time. All right.
We can't paint that picture enough for you, man. We can't paint the picture enough for you, man. Okay, we can say, oh, you might go hungry, you might not really see it, man. But when you actually start to see it, man, it's gonna be different, man. Like that's what scripture says, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability. Because how shall I say, man, when I return shall I find faith in the earth. People's faith is gonna be that's how bad it's gonna be, man. Whereby your faith, you believe in this, but then your faith gets shaken up, man. Okay? How bad times are really coming indeed, man. Okay? Bad timing are really coming indeed. Okay?
The hour of temptation. Right? And plus that wild animals are going to be let loose out of the zoo. Right? And they're going to be hungry too. Not just these people out here. Right? Wild animals, Leviathan. Right? Earthquakes, tempests, natural disasters. Right? Government shutdowns.
Okay? It's at Luke 21 and 25, and it says, and there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations, with perplexity the sea and the waves rolling. Men's hearts failing them for the fear and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken. Okay? Sorry? Yeah, man. It says men's hearts failing them for the fear of the things that are coming on the earth, man. So a lot of things are gonna be coming, man. You're gonna chariots. The chariots are gonna start to show themselves there more and more. Okay, economic collapse. One day you have 100 grand in your account, you can't use that anymore. Okay, you can't touch it. Everything is on lockdown. Banks have been closed. Oh, matter of fact, there's a bank in Edinburgh, Scotland, which somebody in there had coronavirus, so the bank has been closed out. Okay. So you have to go to different banks for you to get access to your money and so on and so forth, man. So listen, right now, man, these things that are happening now, man, it's just a little bit, man. It's just a little trauma. You know, earthquake. The earthquake is coming, but just a little trauma, man, just happening right now. Okay, so worse of things are coming on the planet Earth, man. Okay, the stock markets right now, man, they've fallen. They're now at the lowest since 2008. So that means this virus is gonna shut down a lot of businesses. Okay, already things were bad. A lot of businesses were closing, and now that this has happened, a lot of other businesses can happen, and this could be what causes the next financial crisis. Okay, this could be what could cause the next financial crisis, man. Okay, and you know what happens financial crisis, man? Okay, a whole lot of jobless people. Okay.
It's lucky. That's another thing I forgot to mention is the coming economic collapse, man. All right. It's gonna make 2008 look like a picnic, man. Right? You know, and like the brother said, that's another thing that's gonna make people lose it. Right? Not just the famines, but when you lose your job, that's your livelihood, man.
Oh yeah, right? And I think I seen a message somewhere where somebody said, fill up your car, fill up your tank, man. Basically, it could be because now there's I think a war on petrol going on right now, man. I think there's between Saudi Arabia and Russia. Right now, petrol has dropped by up to 30p, man, per liter. Anybody that drives, man, that's a big deal. You know, that's a big deal, man. Anybody that knows that drives understands. But when petrol goes up by 5p, 10p, there's a major difference, man. Okay, major difference to the economy. Okay, when those prices are going down, I think if you go to a Tesco or Asda, diesel right now, man, is under £1.20 right now. You know.
Well, all that stockpiling that we mentioned earlier is futile, man. And it's gonna come to naught because as Bob's gonna bring out the precept, I just want to bring out now.
Proverbs 11:4. Riches profit not in a day of wrath, but righteousness delivereth from death.
So you've got all these, we was talking about earlier, all these doomsday preppers, all these hoarders, what's another term for them? Panic buyers. You know, they're storing up huge amounts of food, right? Long-lasting food. So you've got some people that are buying gold and silver, you know, stocking up petrol. So you know they're gonna use that as bartering.
I think the price of gold is gone up by 20% now, man.
Wow, okay,
you know, by 20% because of this.
Apostle Tahar, he mentions buying silver, not to say he says he won't deliver us, but he's not to say he's totally against what's the word? Planning. He's not totally like put a blanket over it. You're allowed to, you know, within use discretion. But he mentioned silver. You know, he's talking to his brothers
The thing
you
is,
know,
just
about
don't-
silver.
it's
Yeah,
like,
go on.
it's just don't put your faith in it.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the purpose, man. That's
Nah,
the
because I
point.
saw that video of Elder Apostle Taha. He purchased some silver coins.
Yeah.
You know, not that silver coins that say 925. That's not the proper silver. That's that bonded silver. This is original silver coins. You know, because you can make money. It's in need. You know, it
But they're
goes up.
expensive though, man. I looked up the prices, man, for just a gold coin like that, man. It's like 1 point something thousand.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. You know, some of us are poor, man.
Exactly.
We're poor, man.
I remember when those coins, yeah, like the Crew Grand, the 24 karat gold and all that. I remember when they was about £250, man. I was into it. They must sold it, and when I look back now, I said, "Bro, what did I sell it for?"
Yeah, you should have held on to that.
But you don't know. Like you don't know, man, what's gonna
Yeah,
happen.
you don't know. You don't know.
You think right now, man, I could say, oh, you wanna sell it now because it's 1,000 something, and then 2 years from now it could be maybe 4 grand, and then you'll be saying the same thing. Man. Oh, I could have held on again.
yeah.
But that's really the money losing value rather than the price going up. So you need a lot more of that cash to buy that particular item because this fiat currency, when we've gone over it, man, it's paper, man. Paper, they just put a stamp on it and say, okay, this is money. You know, that's why ISO is easy for them to get rid of it. Say, okay, get rid of those old notes. That's the new money now. Right now, there's new £20 notes, right? Very soon they will say those old £20. They're not valid anymore.
Yeah, they did that with the £50 notes.
Yeah. So just like that, man, they can say that's not money anymore. You go to a shop, no, we're not accepting that. Why? It's not money anymore. But it was money yesterday.
But it's not. That's the illusion.
Yeah, illusion.
It's
yeah.
an illusion. It's not money. It never was money.
Here,
No?
I think in the Latin it means let it be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the
because-
fact that they've said it's money, it's only money because if I give it to you, you accept it.
yeah. That's it.
If you once you stop accepting it, it's no longer valuable anymore.
Yeah, because the notes, what you used to do, example, you had a £5 note, £10 note. What you would do would actually go to the bank and give them that £5 note and say, can I have £5
Yeah.
of what you have, the note, and they'll give you £5 of
Oh,
gold.
Yeah, gold. It'll be-
The weight.
Yeah. That's what they bought. Pound is a weight, man. Pound is a weight.
Same thing with the dollar, man. But that's why the scriptures say riches profit not in the day of wrath. Because the riches in this kingdom don't actually mean anything. Right? Like we were saying, fiat currency means what? Let it be?
Let it be. I believe so.
Wikipedia proof.
No. That's not a precept.
Because
What precept?
it's lucky, because like the brother read in Proverbs 11 and 4, right? Riches profit not in the day of wrath, but righteousness deliver from death, or from evil, it's lucky. Okay?
From death.
From death, yes, it's lucky. Alright, so it's all about putting your faith in the Lord and not putting your faith in riches, man. Because your riches aren't going to mean anything in that day. Right? No one's going to care about a bar of gold or a bar of silver. Right? They just want some food to eat to keep their belly full in that day, man.
Yeah.
Right? To them, a golden bar is not edible. Right?
Yeah.
They're not thinking of what they're going to do with that gold bar. They just want to fill up their belly, like I said, man,
Yeah.
for that time period.
Precept for you. Proverbs 10 and 2. Treasures of wickedness profit nothing, but righteousness delivereth from death.
Pretty much exactly the same as, well, not exactly the same, but pretty much the same as what's in Proverbs 11 and 4, man. Right, if you want to repeat that again.
Treasures of wickedness profit nothing, but righteousness delivereth from death. So the treasures of wickedness, what Esau's got, everything you see now, this is the treasures of wickedness. This is not going to profit Esau in a time of calamity, you know, because all this is going down. The scriptures say that, you know, what manner of persons we ought to be in the holy conversation, knowing that all these things shall be dissolved. So these riches ain't going to profit him.
Remember in the movie I Am Legend, when you want to find his dog, he goes into the bank, the vault, and there was all this cash on the floor, man. Have you seen I Am Legend?
No, I ain't
You haven't seen it?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
there was
no.
all this cash on the floor, man. He just walked on it like it's not even there, man. You know, right now everybody would have been scrambling for that cash. But in the time of trouble, man, that's just paper on the floor, man.
Yeah.
Use it to start a fire.
Well, that's the thing, because you read about these accounts in history of, you know, men that have been on the run or certain.
There have been
economic
people, man,
collapse.
in that time, man. That's how everybody's gonna be walking around.
Can't, yeah.
That's how everybody's gonna be walking around, man. Trying to keep warm, okay? Trying to find food. Everybody's gonna look like a bum out here, man. See how they're all dressed up with their 200-pound earpods. They're about 200 pounds, aren't they? Those earphones and stuff, you know. with his 1,000 pound
It's not
camera
gonna
and
be.
shit.
It's not gonna mean nothing, and that's why Elder Dawad, okay, Elder Dawad, he says, look, that gold, because I'm not gonna lie, I like gold. I like gold, innit? I trade gold. I don't buy gold anymore. I trade it, you know. And if I need to add a bit of money with it, I will. But yeah, that's my thing, trading gold. You know, but I know gold ain't going to deliver me, because it's true, you can't eat it.
Yeah.
You know, well, you can melt it down, but you can't. Well, actually, can you? No, there is certain silver tablets that you can actually.
But colloidal silver on the health in the health, the colloidal silver will actually cure corona. The silver, colloidal silver, that actual, and gold also. So I used to do all that stuff. You know, I'm into the health and all that. You put it into water and you drink it, and it's gold in your blood is actually good for you. Yeah,
it's got the benefits, but in terms of gold actually delivering us, that's not going to happen.
That's right.
The thing is, with most of these people out here anyway, they don't know anything about gold or silver, its benefits or its uses.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying, man. They're not going to regard it at all, right? Because they don't know what to do with it anyway. All these people care about is just filling their belly, man, right? And being satiated for that day.
Yeah, I've got a preset for you. Another
Because you read of stories like, for example, during the Weimar Republic, when inflation was so high, right, and the economy collapsed during the Weimar Republic in Germany in the 1910s, right? Was it before World War I or after World War I? Can't remember.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, but you know, the money became so worthless that you know. People were carrying around wheelbarrows full of cash, man, like just to buy a loaf of bread. Like kids, I believe, I'm not sure how true it is, but you know, you read accounts of like kids were tying up balls of money and playing football with it. Right?
They started doing that as well in Zimbabwe. In Zimbabwe now they use the US dollar, man, because their own currency got completely wiped out, man. I had at one point I had notes of it's like you have like a 1 billion Zimbabwean dollar note. It went up to like 1 trillion.
Oh my gosh.
To trillions, it's just a note. It's just 1 trillion on it.
What does that buy?
Nothing. Like basically it's pointless, man. You just buy a cup of coffee maybe, you know. My ex actually has them. She showed me one time that she still has them. She refused to give them back to me.
That's funny. But even for example, because in times of calamity, no one cares about something that doesn't really mean much to them, man. Right? Like for example, you know, I like to use the example of Pablo Escobar. You know, when he was on the run, you know, from the authorities, right? He was out in the wilderness with his family, right? And he had piles and piles of cash. I believe he burnt $2 million. It was said that he burnt $2 million just to keep his family warm, because his family mattered more than the money, right? But that's why it says riches profit not in the day of wrath, right? And that was his day of wrath.
It's 1 Timothy 6:17, and he said, "Charge them that are rich in this world, that they be not high-minded, not trust in uncertain riches, but in the living power who giveth us richly all things to enjoy." He said that they do good, that they be rich in good works, like what we're doing right now, man. Ready to distribute, willing to communicate, laying up in store for themselves a good foundation against the time to come, that they may lay hold on eternal life.
Come on, man, the scripture right there just said, trust not in uncertain riches, right? And a fiat currency is as uncertain as it gets, right?
It's like that.
Exactly. It can inflate by tomorrow. Your £10 note is worthless, pretty much.
Literally, yeah.
You know, your £50 note is worthless. It's toilet paper, right? It's fuel for the fire. Okay.
It's Proverbs 23:5, and it says, "Without set thine eyes upon that which is not, for riches certainly make themselves wings, then they fly away as an eagle toward the heaven." You know, so you lose your riches, man.